Now I want to speak directly to one specific American, Donald. In the over 8 years you and I have worked together, we've done big things. We signed a historic deal that has created record jobs and growth in both of our countries. We've done big things together on the world stage, as Canada and the US have done together for decades, for generations. And now we should be working together to ensure even greater prosperity for North Americans in a very uncertain and challenging world.
Guys, if you just stay really quiet and go outside for a second, you can literally hear Canada laughing at us right now. Listen.
Never in my life have I seen an uglier person have a bigger ego than you. You're gonna start a trade war with your best friends and allies and remove sanctions from a dictator. But you're a dictator too now, right? Because you're banning protesting. And what is that when the people cannot stand up against what the government has said or what they have done? That is a dictatorship. And I hope you guys know that Canadians don't want this. We are a peaceful people, but we don't back down from a fight. And we are going to be loud with our wallets. We're going to be loud online and call out these lies. And we are going to be loud with our leaders and tell them that we have their back and we do not want to stand down from this fight. Because there's one thing I'll tell you about Canadians, and that is that we are a spiteful people. And we would rather be broke than give in to a dictator. And I hope you fight America. Because the moment that they ban protesting, that is a surefire sign that you should grab that fucking sign and get out there.
Here's the irony. These tariffs were meant to strengthen American industries, but instead, they are making everything more expensive and frustrating.
Against him from an old post in which he said any president who oversees a stock market crash in which the Dow drops by more than 1,000 points should be impeached and removed from the presidency. Here is his tweet from 2012. Let's give it a read. Quote, "If the Dow drops 1,000 points in 2 days, the president should be impeached immediately." Yet, that is exactly what has happened under Donald Trump's second term this week.
Every time that motherfucker Agent Orange, that baboon in the White House opens his mouth, the stock market crashes. Every fucking time. He's wiping out people's 401k savings. He's wiping out people's money that they have in the stock market. What the fuck is wrong with him? What is he, trying to make everybody in America poor? Yeah, that's what he's trying to do. So then he can say, I alone can fix it. This fucker, it's time to 8647.
Americans. Farmers losing access to their biggest buyers. Businesses seeing costs skyrocket. And suddenly, the great American trade war isn't looking so great for, well, America. Canada and Mexico aren't just some random economies. They're America's biggest trading partners. Messing with them isn't like giving China a hard time. It's like picking a fight with your best customer and then wondering why they stopped shopping at your store. So now, MAGA voters are at a crossroads. Do they keep cheering on the trade war, hoping for a miraculous turnaround? Or do they start asking some tough questions about why America First is suddenly feeling a lot like America Last when it comes to trade? One thing's for sure, Canada and Mexico aren't backing down. And if the humble neighbor can throw a punch like this, just imagine what happens when other economic heavyweights start swinging.
Mama always said life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. And apparently, Donald Trump didn't know what he was going to get either when he decided to levy 25% tariffs on Canada because Lindt, the chocolate company, supplies 50% of Canada's chocolate out of the U.S. to Canada. And what they are highly considering, instead of paying the tariffs, is going to Europe and supplying Canada's chocolate from Europe.
Starting today, LCBO, the largest purchaser of alcohol in the world, will begin removing U.S. products from its store shelves.
If you don't make 6 or 8 or 12 figures, if you're not famous, if you criticize or disagree with him in any way, if he doesn't view you as his equal or relevant to his ambitions, I promise you, he will not think about you when he gets into the Oval Office.
Canadian Premier of Manitoba, Wab Kinew, signed an order today pulling American liquor off the shelves in the province and made fun of Donald Trump in the process. You got to check this out.
Okay, this order, it's a wonderful order. It's a beautiful order. This order is pulling American booze off the liquor mart shelves.
So Trump's tariffs on Canada and Mexico are biting back, and MAGA voters are having one of those, wait, this wasn't supposed to happen moments. See, the plan was simple. Slap tariffs on imports, force Canada and Mexico to play nice, and make America the king of trade. Easy, right? Well, not quite. Because when you pick a fight with your biggest trading partners, the ones who've been your economic backbone for decades, you don't just get to walk away unscathed. MAGA supporters thought Canada, our polite, hockey-loving neighbor, would just shrug and take it. Maybe send a strongly worded letter and then quietly accept the new reality. But oh boy, did they get that one wrong. Canada didn't just clap back, it slapped back, and those slaps are leaving a mark. Retaliatory tariffs came in fast, hitting industries that really matter. Mexico joined in too, targeting American exports like pork, apples, and whiskey. Yes, whiskey. Suddenly, farmers, manufacturers, and business owners, the very people Trump promised to protect, are now feeling the squeeze.
As a Canadian, I think it would be cruel to...
Allies in the White House getting bullied on TV. Russian propaganda running our presidency. Neighbors to the north and south have to retaliate. Burning bridges has become our one defining trait. Elon telling workers to reply or get the boot. He can wear a t-shirt, but Zelensky needs a suit. Leaders on a global scale are watching our demise. Oceans are the tears from Lady Liberty's eyes. There it is again, that funny feeling.
So
cut off the power to the U.S. What we need to do is flick the power on and off randomly. Do you know how annoying it'll be to have to reset the clock on the oven and the microwave every few hours? So annoying.
Hey Mimi, how much are the eggs?
The eggs are $3.93 Canadian, which is about $2.75 US for a dozen large white eggs.
Trump's tariffs on Canada and Mexico are backfiring hard. At first, it seemed like a bold move, slapping tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico, two of America's largest trade partners, under the promise of bringing back manufacturing jobs and strengthening the economy. But the reality? The strategy isn't just backfiring, it's delivering a gut punch to the very industries it was meant to protect. Trade wars are rarely one-sided, and this one is no exception. Canada, often seen as America's humble and polite neighbor, didn't just sit back and accept the blow. Instead, they struck back with retaliatory tariffs, targeting industries in key American states, many of which heavily supported Trump's trade policies. Mexico followed suit, making sure that American farmers and manufacturers felt the pinch. And make no mistake,
do Americans know that they have no allies left in the world? All the Trumpies keep saying America first. Right now, it is America on its own. And the United States does not have the capability currently to be a self-sustaining nation. They don't have the infrastructure for that. And they're certainly not investing in it. I don't think they know.
Believe me, if Donald Trump is president again, at some point or another, that ugliness will touch all of our lives. And it will not matter what you look like, how you worship, who you love, or how you vote.
Foundation the administration claimed to strengthen. Economists have pointed out that in a globally interconnected world, tariffs don't just isolate an economy. They disrupt supply chains, trigger inflation, and in some cases, accelerate job losses rather than prevent them. Now, MAGA supporters who once cheered on the tariffs are finding themselves in a tough spot. Was this really the right move? Was it worth risking key trade relationships that have fueled American businesses for decades? Or was it all just a political gamble that ended up hurting everyday workers the most? But what do you think? Are these tariffs a necessary sacrifice for long-term economic independence, or are they dragging America toward the losing end of the deal? Let us know. Raw materials. Take the steel and aluminum industries, two sectors Trump was determined to protect. The tariffs made foreign materials more expensive, but instead of making American steel and aluminum more competitive, they made production costs skyrocket for industries that depend on these materials. Automakers, construction companies, and manufacturers. The result? Higher prices for consumers, lost markets for farmers, and a ripple effect that weakens the very economic. In the comments, and if you love in-depth analysis on trending stories, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned to Trend Feed for more. These aren't just small retaliations. They're strategically aimed at America's economic heartland. Experts argue that these tariffs are doing more harm than good. Instead of boosting domestic production, they're raising costs for American businesses that rely on imported